his approach to working with young people on campuses, high school and college, was really important. My kids were about that age when this was happening. And so I watched the impact that he had on young people. And now, and I think it's really important to note that at that time, our textbooks, our professors, our teachers were really trying to make people feel bad about being Americans. They were trying to make you feel bad about America. And this was that pushback to that movement that was going on in our country. So I could appreciate it from the standpoint that this was going on when the kid was 18 years old, and here he is 31. And one of the things that he did all throughout this time was he would go on college campuses and he would face-to-face meet people that looked at things differently than him. And they would get into it, you know, and they would have, it was almost like a Socratic method where they would ask questions back and forth, and it's really fascinating because it forced people to think about why they believe what they believe, how they got to the place where they believed it, and whether they could stand that belief system up with reason. And this is very important, and this is part of being an American, is open dialogue and actually analyzing why we feel how we feel and what we believe. So when I started to, and then jump ahead to and now he did get into podcasts and stuff like that, and I've read some of the stuff that's been out there, and I did cringe at times because I knew things could be pulled out of context, and I knew they would be, and they have been. And there are memes all over Facebook, there are memes all over social media that completely pull out of context things that this man said. And so, and it's really disheartening to watch what has happened on social media, because it's been, it's too planned. I mean, it's like the information that's been put out there, the memes that have been put out there just to incite, you know, hatred and anger after a man had just been shot because he was speaking on a college campus. How can anybody think that it's okay that an American was on a college campus speaking about the issues of the day and he was shot? And then we all started to see what was happening on social media. People were actually saying things like, you know, just terrible, ugly things. So, you know, me personally, I probably would have waited 6 months and said, okay, let's talk about, let's talk about, you know, should we name a road? Should we do a memorial? Should we do something? I mean, I've seen a statue that somebody put together that was actually young people sitting at a table talking. There are ways to, you know, to honor people, and while apparently some of you in the room and some people that have written emails to us disagree that he should be honored, I am one that believes that somebody like that should be honored. And the fact that you talk about policies that you may believe are racial policies that are actually somehow make someone racist because they bring up a topic, this is America. You should be able to talk about policy. How do we get better as Americans if we cannot talk about what's wrong with policies that we have in place, that we may have had in place for a really long time, that need to be discussed? Or how do you talk about some of the issues that are impacting us nationwide? And then, you know, I do want to mention the fact that he was a devout Christian, and some of what he was able to do was actually inspire people to become more connected to their religion. So you know, I'm gonna do what we have to do, which is open up the podium, and you can get up and you can say what you want to say, but it blows my mind that I could say that a man is a devout Christian, and then somebody who also considers himself a Christian shakes their head as if they did get to make that judgment. That blows my mind. But that being said, I think that there are a lot of people in this county who want to honor what this man did, what he stood for, what he was able to do by having dialogue with young people. And I think there are a lot of people that want to honor him. And I know that there are people obviously here and that don't. But it shouldn't be that one group, gets to say, no, we're not going to do this, and we then ignore the many, many people who want to see this young man's honor. So I think that, that's kind of where I'm coming from. Commissioner Smith.
Thank you, Chairwoman. I